There is a conventional market anywhere. It is not a simple business area, but a place with local DNA. Therefore, it is a very important place. In Korea, a conventional market was disappearing. It is because of a large supermarket and department store. It is unbeatable if gone head-to-head because merchants in a market are amateurs. They cannot beat a large supermarket and department store in all aspects, including the marketing and service. Several marketplaces disappeared, and a number of large supermarkets and department stores sprang up everywhere. By that time, the Korean government realized there is something wrong. Then they started to support conventional markets. First of all, the government installed arcades in a market to protect from rains like a large supermarket and department store. They built a parking area, even new stands and signs. They also conducted kindness education for merchants. However, things went weirdly. Sales dropped even more with all those efforts. I thought causes of this problem were on thinking a market and conventional market as a commercial place only. Because people go those places not simply to buy goods, but they go there to meet, communicate, and interact with other people. In Korea, people call going to a marketplace as going to look around a marketplace. Go to sightseeing a market. It actually means that. In other words, a conventional market is not a simple commercial space, but a place of interaction. Then the most important thing there is people who play principal roles, and what connects them are stories. That is what I thought. So I thought a conventional market may be possible to revive with stories. Then I made Motgolmarket, located in Suwon, Korea, as a sample and had several experiments there. This market is a type of alley market, having 87 stores in a row. It is a life and alley type marketplace selling side dishes. Major customers here were housewives, so I interviewed merchants one by one. I heard their life stories, where they were born, how their first loves were, what their dreams were, what brought them here, why they started business here, what good things were of selling goods, and what made them feel sad. When I asked them these things, they looked at me with strange eyes. They asked me why we do not talk about goods they sell, but their life stories. In the meanwhile, I discovered one street vendor in the entrance of Motgolmarket. She was a middle-aged woman, had been selling mixed grains in the same place for more than 20 years. She had a very small voice. She whispered when she talked. Buy grains, she talked this little. I asked her, why do you have so small voice? Then she said she cannot speak loudly because she had a thyroid cancer surgery a time ago. I said, ma'am, you really went through a hard time. Then she said that was nothing. She said she was in the 3rd phase of uterine cancer 5 years ago. I then said, wow, you are incredible, and came to have interests in her. I bought a bag of grains from her and heard more stories of her. She said, while selling grains here for 20 years, she grew her son as a super heavyweight boxer. She had no money, so could not feed him a meat, but only grains. But he became a champion. She told this with joys. And that time, a brand for this woman came up in my mind. Champion Woman. Because I thought she not only made her son as a champion, but also she became a champion of her life. She overcame poverty, cold by selling goods on a street stall, and twice of cancers. So I branded her as a champion woman and let her hang boxing gloves of her son on the stall. Then people asked her as passing by, ma'am, this is a grain store. Why are there boxing gloves? She then told them her life stories proudly. People heard the stories from others, visited her, and purchased grains. They again told stories to others and visited with their friends. She got more and more famous gradually. She was even broadcasted. She became famous in the marketplace that way. Then, other merchants started to ask me to tell their stories as well. So I covered stories of many merchants and made stands and signs based on them. I placed them in their stores, and when people visit, they heard their stories. You may think, what is so special about it? However, by doing so, sales increased about 50%. Merchants got very friendly. The merchants were not kind before because their businesses were falling, and they had to sell products in low qualities. That reduced customers and made them feel frustrated. That then made them inattentive to customers, and it worsened sales. They had to lower qualities of goods even more, and it caused a vicious circle. However, since they confessed their life stories, they told me this. People who visited to hear my life story praised me. When they told me they were impressed by me, I was very pleased. And that made me feel I am living a quiet, good life. As they view their lives positively, they started to be kind, and it invited more customers. As sales go up, they could sell better goods, and it brought more customers. It made them happy and be more friendly. In other words, as they became positive and happy by themselves, all matters got solved naturally. Now I view roots of all these solutions are stories. In Motgolmarket, sales went up by 50%. They are appearing in the media 50 to 100 times a year. Moreover, a president of merchants in that marketplace is elected as a municipal. Also, a young merchant operated a small restaurant, became a culture planner, and opened his own business. In addition, a woman who said she has no joy in life became a radio DJ and now says every single day is happiness to her. Everyone in that market became happy like that. The part I felt bigger worth was that ties between merchants got better as they shared their life stories and came to understand and love each other more. People sometimes become someone's environment. As people in the marketplace became the good environment to each other, their happiness index could also rise. There was a time that people believed technologies or capitals make people happy and develop industries. However, people are emotional and make judgments based on their hearts. In that point, I think a story has an enormous power. The case in Motgolmarket showed an illustrative example that people became to love other people and change their lives as having positive life attitudes based on stories. I think it is a good example of reviving a certain space or living place with stories of people, not by capitals or technologies. Touching a person's heart and making people become one. I believe it is the power of story.